Hey everybody, Ryan here from Rhino Hockey Channel. Alright, going to be going over the Nashville Predators 2021-2022 season preview. Now, if you have not done so already, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and also make sure to hit that like button. Hit that share button as well because it helps the video get out there more, and also let me know in the comments what you think. If you agree, disagree, like always, keep it civil, and we'll be good. Alright, this is what the Nashville Predators added to their team this year. They added David Rittich, 1 year, $1.25 million. Matt Luff, 1 year, $750,000. Matt Tennyson, 2 years, $750,000 per. They added Philip Myers and Nolan Patrick from Philadelphia for Ryan Ellis. So no Ryan Ellis on this team. I think that's going to take a hit. Cody Glass from Vegas for Nolan Patrick. So they added Cody Glass and got rid of Nolan Patrick. I still fail to see what Vegas was thinking with this trade. Honestly, they could have got more for Cody Glass elsewhere. Instead, they could just get Nolan Patrick, a guy that has not lived up to the number 2 overall pick status so far. Granted, Cody Glass has not lived up to his potential yet either, but still, I feel like this was a ripoff for Vegas, or just a bad trade in general. But we'll see. Maybe I get proven wrong. Anthony Richard, 1 year, $750,000, and Michael McCarron, 2 years, $750,000 per. So really, the only ones who are going to be playing on this so far, Philip Myers, Cody Glass, and David Rittich may be getting a backup role. Matt Luff may get some games in, Matt Tennyson may get some games in, and Michael McCarron with injuries or trades, possible. Alright, subtractions. They lost Eric Hall to Boston, Sean Malone to Buffalo, Tyler Lewington to Boston, Michael Carcone to Arizona, Victor Arvidsson, still kind of surprised by that trade, to LA for a 2021 second and 2022 third, Ryan Ellis to Philadelphia, and Nolan Patrick to Vegas. Granted, Nolan Patrick never played a game for them. Oh, sorry, let me go back to it. The biggest losses there are definitely Arvidsson and Ellis. I mean, Halla, it hurts to lose a depth forward like that, but he only played 1 year, so I wouldn't say it's a devastating loss. I mean, Arvidsson, that's still, like I said, a surprising one. Ellis, still kind of surprised by that. But Arvidsson was definitely based off of the possibility of losing him for nothing to Seattle. So, I can understand that one. They re-signed Michael Granlund, 4 years, $5 million per. Frederick Allard, 1 year, $750,000. Dante Fabro, 2 years, $2.4 million per. That is a prove-it deal. And Juicy Saros, 4 years, $5 million per. That is a steal right there. $5 million per year over 4 years for Juicy Saros. Wow, they gypped Saros. I'm sorry. All right, projected cap hit, $71 million currently, so they're sitting at a projected cap space of about $10 million. So they have room to add if they want to add. Let's see, deadline cap space, $53 million. They have a lot of cap space at the deadline. All right. They do still have Matt Duchene and Ryan Johansson, though. I was kind of surprised Seattle did not pick one of those two when they were available. I mean, wouldn't hurt to have someone like a Ryan Johansson. Yes, he has not played very well the last year and a half or 2 years, but still, 29-year-old center, that's hard to pass up. But still, I mean, $8 million over 4 years, $8 million each of the next 4 seasons. Yeah, I guess I can see it. And Matt Duchene, he's the franchise killer. Guy never makes the dang playoffs, it feels like. Unless he's traded the deadline. That's the only exception. Or the occasional lucky year for Colorado when they were bad. Sometimes those years do happen even for the bad teams. Kind of hoping the Ducks do it this year, but they won't. They suck. So bad. So bad. Anyways, Matt Duchene, Ryan Johansson, Philip Forsberg is actually an expected UFA after this season. So I've been seeing a lot of videos pop up about Philip Forsberg possibly being on the market, especially come trade deadline if they're not a good team, which is a possibility. Rocco Grimaldi and Nick Cousins are also UFAs after this season. Luke Cunnin, Cody Glass, Matt Luff, and Yakov Trenin are all RFAs. So, I mean, they also have Eli Tolvanen, who finally showed some of his potential last year. I still think there's more there. But he started showing something this last year. Finally. If you're a Nashville fan, you know him, right? It's like, what's taking this guy so long? And he finally is showing something. So hopefully he keeps that up. Roman Josi still getting paid a massive amount of money. Matthias Ekholm, they ended up keeping his UFA after this year, so there's still a chance he could be traded if they are not a good team this year. Mark Borieski, Matthew Benning, and Brent Harper, all UFAs, as is David Rittich on the goalie side over there. So after this season, they have Josi, Myers, and Fabro under contract. I mean, their top four, even without Ellis, still not terrible. I mean, Philip Myers is a definitely pretty good defender, and he still is 24, so he still has some potential there. I mean, I don't think he's reached his ceiling yet, but he's also probably not that far from it. But he still has a little bit more he can probably add. Dante Fabro, same type of thing. He has more to him than what he's shown so far. So this still could be a decently, if not pretty good defense, honestly. And UC Saros, I still steal a contract, honestly. That guy, he's a pretty dang good goalie right there. I know that's putting an understatement out there. I'm sorry, Nashville fans, not trying to underplay him that much, but he's a pretty dang good goalie. All right, you have Kyle Turris that they're still paying for his buyout for the foreseeable future, $2 million per season. And Steven Santini, $275,000 this year. And that's it for their dead cap. Let's see, on the forward side, they do have Zachary LaRue that they drafted this last year. He's not going to be playing this year. I highly doubt that. Luke Evangelista is down there. Philip Tomasino. Rem Pitlick, who, I'm sorry, I didn't get that in this video. He was picked up today on waivers. Oh, who picked him up? I missed who picked him up. I'll put it in the description. All right, let's see. Oh, wait, I didn't see. Sorry. Patrick Harper. Well, Rem Pitlick doesn't matter anymore because he's not on the team. So, Patrick Harper, Thomas Novak, Anthony Richard, however he goes with that, and Cole Smith, all RFAs after this season. On the defensive side, David Ferentz played a game or two last year for them. Probably going to be playing in the NHL this year. I got to imagine he's going to get some games in. He's an RFA after this season. Frederick Allard and Jeremy Davies are both RFAs as well. Matt Tennyson probably may get some games based on he has experience. Alexander Carey, I want to say he played some games last year too for them. And they have Luke Prokop down there who might get some games in the future, not this year. He's still junior eligible. I'm sure they're going to send him down. On the goalie side, they do have Connor Ingram, who is still a pretty good prospect in the goalie area, but we'll see if he gets some games in this year. They do have Devin Cooley, who is an RFA after this season. This is who they drafted in 2021. They had 2 first-round picks this year. Number 19, they picked Fyodor Svechkov. I'm so used to saying Svechnikov. Svechkov. Then at 27, Zachary LaRue. So, 2 first-round picks, never a bad thing. Later ones, yes. I mean, Fyodor Svechkov, more of the mid area, but past the mid area too, though. And you can see the rest of the picks there. Alright, this is what they have draft pick wise in the coming years. 2022, they have all their own picks. They have no 6th round pick, though. And they have LA's 3rd round pick. 2023, they have all their picks except the 7th round pick. They have none. And they have all their own in 2024. So, they still have most, if not all, their picks. Here's the lineup according to Cap Friendly. Once again, go check out Cap Friendly. Great website for cap-related questions and just having, like, mock drafts and all that sort of stuff. They have that, too. Alright, their first line, according to Cap Friendly, is Philip Forsberg, Ryan Johansson, and Luke Kunin. I would be shocked if Luke Kunin is actually on the first line, but he didn't have a terrible year. I mean, 19 points in 38 games. It's half a point a game. It's decent. I mean, that's better than Ryan Johansson, who had 22 points in 48 games. Oh, awful. Matt Duchene, Michael Granlund, and Rocco Grimaldi on the second line. Eli Tolvanen, Cody Glass, and Nick Cousins on the third line. Like I said, Tolvanen, 22 points in 48 games. Finally showing that potential that he had. Fourth line, Tanner Janot, Colton Sissons, and Matthew Olivier. Olivier was fun to watch last year. He's a pretty decent fighter, honestly. So he was fun to watch. But, I mean, the forward group, definitely, it all depends how they go. Because, I mean, Matt Duchene, 13 points last year. Ryan Johansson, 22. I don't see a single forward that played every single game for them or their respective team if they weren't with Nashville last year. Like Cody Glass at 10 points in 27 games. He's 22. Still has time to figure that out, but definitely probably want more from that guy right there. And many other guys like Ryan Johansson, Matt Duchene. Philip Forsberg still did not have a great season. He had a decent season. I mean, 32 points in 39 games. That's not awful, but it's not what they've been getting from him the last few years. And having no Victor Arvidsson definitely is going to be different seeing that too. On the defensive side, Roman Josi, once again their top scorer. Still actually kind of a down year for him even. It was a minus 11. I don't think he's been minus, I don't think in a few years. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure not in a few years. But 33 points in 48 games. It's not his best output, but he also had a lot less to work with because, as you can tell, a lot of guys missed time last year. Injuries took a chunk out of this team, but they still made the playoffs. So they figured that out. But they have Roman Josi with Alexander Carrier. They have Ekholm with Philip Myers. Myers, like I said, 11 points in 44 games, a minus 10 with Philadelphia, a non-playoff team. I think with a better offense, I think he could have a better plus-minus, but also 11 points in 44 games. Your plus-minus is usually going to be in the negative because you obviously don't score a lot when you're out there. Or the team that you are on does not necessarily score a lot when you're out there. Mark Borgieski and Dante Fabro on the third pair. Fabro only 12 points in 40 games last year. Once again, nobody on that list playing a full season. Juicy Saros had a great year last year. 21-11, 927 save percentage, 228 goals against average. I mean, you know you're going to get solid play from him. I mean, just easy enough is the question of what will David Rittich do? Then, of course, on the scratches, you have Yakov Trenin, who had played 45 games for him last year. Philip Tomasino, who I can definitely see getting in some games this year. And Matthew Benning, who is a long-time NHLer, or not long time, but he's been around for a few years now and has been a bit of a journeyman, but hey, you know what? 53 games last year. He played more games than anybody else on their defender list here, so I don't think they were with this team, though. Was it? I can't remember now. In training camp, like I said, Rem Pitlick is no longer with the team, so he does not count. Michael McCarron played some games last year. Cole Smith got a game in. Yegor Afanasayev, he is one of the top prospects, so maybe he gets a game or two in this year, maybe a few more than that, especially with all the injuries that it seems like this team has been going through, so might get a lot more than that. Matt Luff, same type of thing, 13 games with LA last year, only 1 goal to show for it. Ben Harper played some games for him last year, 34 to be exact. Matt Tennyson played games with New Jersey? I believe it was New Jersey last year. Jeremy Davies played some games last year. Frederick Allard played a game last year. Then you had Connor Ingram on the back end, or not back end, the goalie side in training camp still. In the minors, let's see. David Ferentz may get some games in. Like I said, he had 2 games last year, fresh out of college, so we'll see if he gets some more games in this year. Zachary LaRue is loaned currently. Not surprising. Same with Evangelista and Luke Prokop. Alright, on the prospect side, I don't see, do they have any? Oh yeah, they do have a first round pick and Fedor Sveshkov. I gotta imagine he's probably playing in like the VHL or KHL this year, and he's only 18, he still has time to develop. Oh no, they have Yaroslav Askarov, definitely their goalie of the future right there. And I believe one of, if not the top prospect on this team. 11th overall in 2020, so he's not there yet. I mean, he's playing in the KHL this year, so don't expect to see him this year. And there we go, top prospect, Yaroslav Askarov, number 1. He is 1-2 in 3 KHL games this year and 2-0-0 in 2 VHL games this season. Yes, that is this season that is currently going on. They've already started over in Russia. Phil Tomasino is next, center right wing, 32 points in 29 AHL games. I would be surprised if he did not get on the opening night roster because this team needs offense and hopefully healthy offense. And Yegor Afanasayev, left winger, 6 points in 16 KHL games last season. May get some games in this year. David Ferens, defender, 0 points in 2 NHL games and 16 points in 11 NCAA games. That's a good point output for a defender right there in the NCAA. Connor Ingram, who they acquired, I believe, from Tampa, is their 5th top prospect. He was 1-3-2 in 5 AHL games. Not good numbers, but they also did not have a very good minor league team last year. And, of course, Rem Pitlick, who is no longer with the team. Jeremy Davies, Mark Del Gaizo, I'm not sure how to pronounce that one properly. Frederick Allard, and Luke Evangelista. So, seems like they have a lot more of the forward than they do anything else. No, actually, they have about the same amount of forwards as defenders. About the same. 4 each? Yeah, 4 each. So, yeah, same amount there, and then 2 goalies. Although, one of the forwards is no longer with the team. So, they have more defenders. Alright, their season outlook. Now, this team, with the names they have, if they play up to par and they stay healthy, should be probably a middle-range team, probably finishing in the middle to bottom of their division. Now, if the injury bug pops up again, or people just don't play up to par, like a Matt Duchene or a Ryan Johansson, then this team is going to be bad. I mean, it's that final line. It's like just a little bit of a variation, and this team will be bad. But they could also be very good if they play up to par and are healthy. So that's why I said middle to bottom, because they could be a middle-range team finishing about middle of that tough division that they have in the Central, or they could be finishing at the bottom because they just have issues. So that's where I see them. I mean, like I said, it's kind of hard to pick this team right now. It really is. So let me know what you think in the comments, if you agree, disagree, or if you see them being like a top-tier team. That's fine if it's your team and you see that. Let me know what reasons you have. I want to hear them. Alright, other than that, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell to be notified when I drop a new video. Hit that share button as well, and I will see you all next video. Bye, everybody.